Most businesses are using content tools the wrong way. They buy the tools, they download the apps, they try the newest AI platform, they edit videos, they post on social media, they schedule content, but nothing feels smooth. The content is still inconsistent. The ideas still feel random. The team still asks, what are we posting today? The business owner still has to approve everything. And worst of all, the content still does not turn into actual leads, book calls, appointments, or sales. So, in this video, I want to break down 6 essential tools you should use for content creation in 2026. But I don't want to talk about the tools the way most people talk about tools, because the tool is not a strategy. A camera is not a content strategy. Canva is not a brand strategy. ChatGPT is not a marketing system. The schedule is not a client acquisition system. The tools only work when they are connected to a process. So if you're a business owner, clinic owner, property manager, real estate professional, or a coach trying to create more content this year, this video is not just about what tools to use. It is about how to use tools inside the system that makes your business run smoother. Let's start with the tool number 1. ChatGPT. This is probably the most obvious one, but most people are still using it in a very basic way. They open ChatGPT and say, give me 10 content ideas. Then they copy whatever it gives them. That is not strategy. That is outsourcing your thinking to a robot. The better way to use ChatGPT is to turn it into your content strategist, research assistant, script assistant, and repurposing partner. For example, don't just ask it for random post ideas. Feed it your offer, feed it your target market, feed it your frequently asked questions, feed it your sales objections, feed it your case studies, feed it your client wins, then ask it to create content based on your actual market, not generic internet advice. Because the best content does not come from random trends. It comes from real conversations happening in your business, questions your prospects ask, objections they keep repeating, problems they do not know how to explain. Because the best content does not come from random trends. It comes from real conversations happening in your business, questions your prospect asks, objections they keep repeating, problems they do not know how to explain, mistakes you keep seeing in your industry. That is where ChatGPT becomes powerful, not because it replaces your voice, but because it helps you organize your thoughts faster. It helps you turn messy ideas into scripts, captions, hooks, carousels, emails, and follow-up content. But here's the key. Your inputs decide the quality of your outputs. If you give it generic prompts, you will get generic content. If you give it your positioning, your offer, your client pain points, and your market insights, it becomes a lot more useful. Tool number 2 is Canva. Now, Canva is not just your basic graphics anymore. For a lot of businesses, Canva is where your visual content system starts. Your carousel, your lead magnets, your presentation decks, your thumbnails, your social posts, your simple ads, your PDF guides, your brand templates. And this is important because consistency matters. A lot of business owners think branding means having a nice logo, but branding is also repetition. It is the way people recognize your content before they even read your name. Same fonts, same structure, same visual style, same type of message, same feeling. That is why Canva is useful. Not because it makes your design pretty, but because it helps you create a repeatable visual system. You should not be designing from scratch every single time. You should have templates for educational carousels, templates for case studies, templates for client wins, templates for testimonials, template for quote posts, template for lead magnets, template for thumbnails, templates for your offer, because if every post starts from zero, content creation becomes exhausting. But when your design system is already built, your team can move faster, your brand becomes more consistent, and your content starts to look like it belongs to one business, not 10 different freelancers. Tool number 3 is CapCut. This is one of the best tools for short-form video editing. If you are creating Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, or quick social media videos, CapCut makes the editing process faster. Captions, cuts, simple effects, B-rolls, templates, audio, quick exports. It is useful because speed matters in content creation, but again, this is where people get distracted. They think editing is what makes content work, so they add more transitions, more zooms, more sound effects, more captions, more movement. But editing cannot save a weak message. A well-edited video with a weak hook will still fail, but editing cannot save a weak message. A well-edited video with a weak hook will still fail. A polished video with no clear point will still get skipped. A cinematic video with no relevance to the target market will still not convert. So, use CapCut to improve delivery. Use it to make the content easier to watch. Use it to clean up your message, but do not confuse editing with strategy. The goal of editing is to show people that you know how to edit. The goal is to keep attention long enough for the message to land. That means the script still matters, the hook still matters, the pacing still matters, the idea still matters, the offer still matters, the next step still matters. Tool number 4 is Metricool. This is where most businesses start becoming more organized with publishing and analytics. Because one of the biggest problems with content is not just creation, it is consistency. A lot of businesses create content in random bursts. One week, they post every day. The next week, nothing. Then they post again because they remember they have social media. Then they disappear again because they get busy. That is not a content system. That is panic posting. A tool like Metricool helps you plan, schedule, track, and understand what is actually happening with your content. Because if you are serious about growth, you cannot just post and hope. You need to know what topics are getting attention, what formats are working, what hooks are performing, what platforms are producing engagement, what content leads to profile visit, what content gets clicks, what content creates conversations. This is where analytics become important. But do not overcomplicate it. You do not need to track 50 metrics. Start with the basic, like reach, watch time, engagement, profile visits, clicks, replies, leads, bookings, because the goal is not just to know which post got most likes. The goal is to understand which content is moving people closer to becoming a customer. Tool number 5 is ClickUp. You can use Notion, Trello, Asana, or any project management tool. But the point is this, you need a content creation hub. This is the part most business owners skip. They have ideas in Google Docs, scripts in random chats, graphics in Canva, videos in folders, captions in someone's note app, approvals in Messenger, feedback in email, deadlines in someone's memory, and then they wonder why content feels chaotic. If your content process lives everywhere, your team will always feel behind. You need one place where ideas, scripts, tasks, deadlines, approvals, asset, and publishing status are organized. That is where a tool like ClickUp becomes useful. You can create a workflow like this: idea, script, recorded, editing, design, review, approve, scheduled, publish, repurpose, track. Now everyone knows where the content is. The editor knows what to edit, the designer knows what to design, the social media managers know what to schedule, the business owner knows what needs approval, and the team stops asking the same question over and over again. This is what makes content creation scalable, not just better tools, better workflow. Because if you are creating content as a business, you are not just creating content. You are running a production system, and production system needs structure. So, tool number 6 is GoHighLevel. And this is the tool that most content creators and business owners forget to connect their content strategy. Because creating content is one thing, turning that content into leads, book calls, appointments, and customer is another thing. This is where GoHighLevel becomes powerful. You can use it for landing pages, forms, calendars, pipelines, email follow-ups, SMS follow-ups, missed call text box, nurture sequence, lead tracking, appointment reminders, and CRM automation. Why does this matter? Because content without a follow-up system is a wasted attention. Someone watches your video, they like your message, they click your link, they visit your landing page, they fill out a form, then what happens? Does your team get notified? Does the lead get automatic reply? Do they receive a booking link? Do they get reminders? Do they get a follow-up if they do not book? Do they get nurtured if they are not ready? Do they move into a pipeline? Can you track where they came from? Can you see which content brought them in? This is where most businesses lose money. Not because their content was bad, but because the system after the content was weak. The lead came in, but nobody followed up fast enough. The person was interested, but there was no nurture. The viewer wanted to learn more, but the next step wasn't clear. The business got attention, but there was no conversation path. That is why I always say this: you do not need more random content, you need content connected to a system. Because the real power is not just using one tool. The real power is connecting the tools together. ChatGPT helps you create ideas, scripts, captions, and content strategy. Canva helps you turn those ideas into branded visuals. CapCut helps you edit videos faster. Metricool helps you schedule, publish, and analyze. ClickUp helps your team manage the entire workflow, and GoHighLevel helps you capture, follow up, and convert the attention into real business opportunities. That is the system, and once you understand this, content creation becomes a lot less random. You are not waking up every day asking, what should we post? You have a content bank, you have content pillars, you have scripts, you have templates, you have workflows, you have schedules, you have analytics, you have follow-up. You have a clear path from content to a customer. And that is what most businesses are missing. They have tools but no system. They have a content but no strategy. They have content but no conversion path. They have leads but no follow-up. They have a brand but no engine behind it. So if you're planning to create more content in 2026, do not just ask, what tools should I use? Ask a better question. How do these tools work together to make my business run smoother? Because that is the real goal. Not just to post more, not to just look active, not just to go viral. The goal is to build a content system that helps your business create trust, generate demand, capture leads, follow up faster, and turn attention into revenue. So to recap, the 6 tools are ChatGPT for strategy and content creation, Canva for branded visuals and design templates, CapCut for fast video editing, Metricool for scheduling and analytics, ClickUp for content workflow management, and GoHighLevel for lead capture, automation, and follow-up. But remember this, the tools do not grow your business by themselves. The system does. So use the tools but build the system around them. If you want to know how to connect your content, your lead generation, your follow-up, and your business operations into one smoother system, click the video on the screen. I'll show you how to build a system that helps your business run smoother, generate better opportunities, and stop relying on random posting.